Hey everyone, and welcome back to Simply Handmade. If this is your first time here, my name is Kell, and in today's video I'm going to show you guys how to make this gorgeous wood sign. I made it for my DIY workshop, and besides the DIY, everyone was obsessed with this sign. And of course, it's not just for a business. You can use it for a wedding, church, event, birthday, whatever you want to use it for. This is a beautiful sign, and I feel like the acrylic that I used brought it a step up and just made it on a class of its own, separate from just a regular wood sign. I hope you guys like this video. If you do, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you're interested in knowing how to make one for yourself, just keep on watching. I measured and cut 2x4 to 4 pieces of 37 inches and mitered the edges so it's 37 inches from point to end. I cut another 2 pieces to 20 inches and mitered both sides so it's 20 inches total from point to point. I assembled 2 long pieces with the short piece in the middle and used the paper method to get a 90-degree angle on both sides. I glued the wood together and let it dry. Once the glue is dry, I secured the back with a staple gun. I painted the wood off camera and added a coat of polyurethane and secured the acrylic I cut down to 20 by 30 with painter's tape on the back of the frame. I made sure to remove the protective plastic in the front and left it on in the back. I printed my logo and placed it in the center of the acrylic, securing it down with some painter's tape. I painted some onto the acrylic with a fan brush, and to achieve a watercolor effect, I used a straw and blew the edges of the paint. This technique feathered the paint and made it look much more organic. I worked in small sections until I got comfortable with the process, then I started blending colors into one another by using the same straw technique. I was careful to not let the paint dry out because I knew it wouldn't work as well. I was also careful not to cover the letters too much so I could see it for the next steps. Once I was happy with the way everything looked, I let the paint dry overnight and I started tracing the letters with a paint pen the next day. At first, I outlined the letters, then filled it in. The pen did clog a lot, so I made sure to have a scrap piece of acrylic next to me to unclog it. I worked really carefully with the letters, let them dry, and added a second layer with the paint pen. I flipped over the side, clamped it down, and drilled pilot holes where I wanted the screws to go. I then drilled a 1/4 inch screws into the acrylic and wood, but honestly I wish I did this part before I started painting, but thankfully everything still worked well. I cleaned the dust off the back of the acrylic and I used the same paint as I did for the wood on the back of the acrylic. It took about 3 or 4 coats on the acrylic to make sure it wasn't patchy. I repeated the same process on the other side of the frame. Once the frames were nice and dry, I placed them side by side, right side down, and placed the hinge where I wanted it to be. I made sure there was enough space to account for the bulge on the hinge, and I marked where I wanted to drill the pilot holes. I placed the latch on the back and screwed the hinge in place on both sides. I closed the frame and measured 20 inches down from the top on either side. I then marked 1/2 inch down on one side and 3/4 inch down on the opposite side. I drilled pilot holes and added the eye hooks. Staggering the holes like this made it really easy to be able to close the frame. I didn't have any chains, so I opened the frame as wide as I wanted it and tied on some of this cord temporarily. I hope you guys enjoyed this DIY. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. It lets me know to keep on doing what I'm doing. And of course, subscribe to this channel if you want to see more DIYs. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you like this wood sign? What would you do different? What colors would you make yours? I want to know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.